But I wanted to compare Asian and white people because I wanted to find out, is this sort of conflict due to teenage, the conflict that you often find between teenagers and their parents, or was it something that had something to do with ethnicity as such? So I wanted to kind of compare and contrast. And I wanted also so it inevitably involved parents, interviewing parents as well. So I did work in Southall, in West London, and I moved to West London in 1970, I think 70s. I did my PhD interviews in 1976, and in the Southall secondary schools with adolescents and their parents. Subsequently, I moved to Southall as well, but I'll come to that in a minute. So I did my PhD on that, looking at this comparison, and found what I was actually kind of thinking I might, which was that a lot of the conflicts or differences of opinion were to do with the fact that there were teenagers. So similar sort of differences occurred between white young people and their parents, and Asian young people and their parents, a lot of sort of similarity. Some kind of specific things were to do with kind of, I was also talking to young people about marriage and marriage, family, education. Those were the areas I was covering as I was talking to them, and found that primarily it was a case of some issues to do with marriage. When it came to marriage, then of course Asians had there was still sort of some sense that ideally there should be arranged marriages, and that was something that the young people did not want. Some of them didn't mind actually, because they talked about parental guidance. What they didn't like, now we make a distinction between forced marriage and marriage through parental guidance. And that's what they were saying to me actually. They said, we don't mind mom and dad introducing us to somebody, but we don't want to be forced into that. So there were some differences, but I did not find any huge intergenerational gaps that the media talked about.